direction, that takes a long time, years. And I may not do that with somebody that can't be stable, that's not strong enough. It takes some time. And that ability to react to a cue, it's a pretty advanced skill. Yeah. And something else, this might throw you for a loop. A lot of research has shown that the really special players cut off their inside foot. The average person doesn't do that because they like their ligaments and stuff underneath. But special players are able to do that. And the reason why they're so effective is because we don't recognize it. If I'm going that direction, and the person reading my body language as I'm running sees me go like this is not the direction they expect me to go. When I do this, most opponents just, they can't read it. So it's a unique trait. And so in that grid, that's another skill you need to learn to recognize is, are they capable of cutting off their non-dominant, unbalanced leg? And you're not going to be the one that teaches that. It's going to be an inherent ability to do that. Yeah.
And jump in at the start of the session, and how much of the session will you dedicate to this?
20, 25, 30 minutes, yes, at the beginning. Skill acquisition is something the athlete needs to be fresh for. Here's something I feel very passionate about. If you make your kid tired and fatigued, and you expect them to learn a new skill, you're kidding yourself. It's not going to happen. Okay, and you may use whatever you want. I'm trying to, they got to learn how to think when they're tired. No, they don't. You can't think when you're tired. Right? All you're doing is reacting to processes that you already learned. So do that when they're fresh. We've done that, right? I've done that to kids. Okay, you guys are tired now. Do a math problem. It's impossible. Okay?
Specifically. But I just want to know what your opinion was on speed development being trained in by use of ladders and agility training.
Yep. So I have at my disposal some pretty nice tools. I have ladders and I have parachutes and elastics, high-speed treadmills that cost $50,000. I have some really nice stuff. I don't use it very much, personally. Some of my trainers do. But you've got to understand how and why that thing is happening. So there are times that a ladder is important. Absolutely. The ladder, you've got to understand, the tool itself does not teach the athlete anything. You need to know why you're using it. Yeah. So if I'm teaching foot strike and I decide to use a ladder, then I better be aware of what direction that foot needs to land. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So I don't mind ladders one bit. I personally use very little equipment, even though I have some really nice stuff at my disposal. In fact, the high-speed programs that we write, I make a lot of money teaching people how to use them. A lot of money. Travel lots of places, and they pay me for the program, and I teach it to them, but I don't use it a ton myself. Sometimes, it's just any idiot can put somebody on. What's an average speed? Average top speed of an athlete. Let's pick a number. Come on, no one's thinking about it. Average top speed. Let's pick somebody that's somewhat fast. 15 kilometers? 15? Okay. So we're going to use that as kind of our average. So 15. Okay? 16 would be a little faster, 17 would be a little slower, or sorry, a little faster than that, 13. Okay? So what are the percentages we know for the different energy systems? What percent does the fastest, quickest burning system use? ATP system. Is that 90%, 70%, 100%? Huh? 100%, right? Full effort, 100% speed, that lasts for how long? Roughly 6 seconds. Give or take, whatever. Okay? The system just next to that. How long does that last? Have you guys ever worked on this?
Like 20 seconds, 30 seconds?
Yeah, 20, 30, absolutely. And what's the percent of that? Based off of max. Huh? Yeah, I think it's right around 85-ish. 85, okay? You guys can have to get your calculators out here for a second. So let's say 20 to 30. And then, what's this percent? And what's roughly 70%? How long can we sustain 70%? Come on, John, speak up.
A long time.
Yeah, like 90 minutes, right? Or longer. Okay? And from there, we go down to 60%. And that can be for hours. Okay? Hours. So, sometimes a day. Let's look at the distance covered. And the distance covered, 17 kilometers per hour for 6 seconds. When we start to look at these, it really becomes apparent how speed, max speed, is a huge component of fitness too. Make sense? And this is not just theory, guys. This is no joke. If you can make somebody faster first, the fitness component is a much easier pill to swallow. It's a much easier thing to do. It takes them less effort to run what you want. Now there's some neat data out there. We know what the average speed over a course of a match is. We can track that. We can use it with monitors. We can track it with distance over time. Right? We can track these things. So, we're able to know what type of energy system they're in. Are they eating appropriately? Are they working too hard? Do we need to increase their fitness level or their speed? We can track these things. And if they're running for the course of the game, here, well, that's too high, isn't it? You cannot sustain 85% speed over the course of a bout. So this person's going to have to come out really soon. We can track these things. Does this kind of make sense a little bit? And with the same idea, if you're trying to do speed endurance, fitness endurance, these kind of things, you sure need to know what that top speed is. How fast that their system move. And then that's going to tell you what their recovery runs and all those kind of things are. Another thing that this does for us is it tells us where their body is operating with and without oxygen. Oxygen is a pretty cool thing. If we can get the body to bring it in without the byproduct, without some of the acidic environments that the body can create, we can use our conditioning as a recovery tool. But if we're telling our athlete, if this guy is working out with this guy, and his recovery run is at 11.9, which is, what's 11.9 times 1.1? Well, sorry, 1.5.
17.85.
So that's how far this athlete should be able to run in 90 minutes, if I did this right. If I'm telling this athlete to cover that same distance with that athlete, he's not in a recovery run. He's in a whole different state. So while he's producing, he's bringing enough oxygen to cover, this athlete is basically in an acidic environment for way too long. He's quite efficient and does a lot of things really well. So just do, Wesley, an A march. Yep. Okay, so a couple things I'm looking for. Posture almost always number one for me. I'm then looking at the straight support leg. I'm then looking at the shin angle as it's on the ground and as it's in the air. Does it match the torso? Okay, turn around. I'll do that in the skip. You should see the same thing. Now do a B march. So that was a B skip, Wesley, thank you. Yeah, but stay there and do the same thing. So that's, he did the B skip right. I do that again, and I want you to do it with the incorrect pawing that we sometimes teach. I know it's hard to do it wrong, but do it. Okay. That shin coming forward like that, not a good thing. Do it again. Watch where his foot lands. Little foot out in front. Okay, now do it right. Don't ever do that again. Okay. Much more efficient. Okay. So then, that's something I look for. If someone's doing that a little wrong. Now do the straight leg run. Could do what I call it, like an angling run. Yeah, bounding, straight leg run. But just do it over the ankle. Go ahead. That's that. Now cue of pull. Yeah. So, yeah, don't hurt yourself.
I'm good.
So now do this. Do that with a much greater frequency, much greater strike. Looking at the posture number one, is the leg straight. And I like this, because the leg begins straight and should end straight. They start to do it like this, to help teach that straight support. So then sometimes I'll have them in front, and I'll start teaching some rhythm. So now I want straight pull, straight pull, straight pull. You can pick whatever you want. That's just another progression, and then we would do straight pull, straight pull. Start to really integrate some of the coordination that has to happen with sprinting, and the body's ability to say, bring it up. Go ahead and do straight pull, straight. And you notice the progression after the course? Pretty cool, right? Works well. What are some of the other drills that we sometimes use?
Move up to something.
Yeah.
It's like dribbling.
Yeah, that's any questions on what I'm looking for? There's a million different drills we do, but that's the idea. If I start to see this or leaning back, I will address it immediately. Yeah.
So Jack from back and forth, he's saying, but we're trying to fix that, they're trying to have this. What do you teach for that?
So let's do the play. Let's do Let's do a butt kick. How I like it, you better do it right. So we're kicking this butt, not this butt. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Try to get your foot up here.
What was I getting?
This is back here. So that's really it. Can you do it wrong? Get back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do that again. Do that again. Watch the direction the foot goes when it hits the ground. Go ahead. Right?
Deceleration.
So we don't want that. Does that?
Yeah. With that warm up, do you progress into like a more aggressive bound?
You bet. You bet. Yeah. Start pretty slow and controlled. End up very aggressive. And I like a very long, I like it. Colin, right? The one that I gave to Colin is, I gave him a warm-up. It's very, well, sorry, it's very long. It's long, but it's supposed to be done in about 10 minutes. And it was kind of a thing I had to do because of a time crunch I was under, and I wanted to get full body movement and teach some balance and some strength and some speed development. And it has basically those basic speed principles with some hopping and bounding done in between. But ideally, I mean, we take 30, 40 minutes to warm up. And our warm-ups, Wesley's learning it probably better than some of the other ones that we have. Our warm-up alone is a full training session for most. Yeah, it's fitness, it's hard. It also allows me to add volume without the stress of sprinting and jumping. This is something I like to do a lot for coordination. So this will be go from that. When he's doing this, he's almost thinking straight, pull, straight, pull, straight, pull. And he goes to the very front side and then almost by accident. Okay, straight, pull, straight, pull. Okay, then I'll be really mean to him. I love him this thing. Hold on, that was funny. And my eyesight's good. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, pull, 1, 2, pull, 1, 2, 3, pull, 1, 2, 3, 4, pull, 1, pull, 1, 2. Yeah. So rhythm and coordination it's fun, and that's not necessarily like super advanced, but it's a way to get what you want. The athletes have a ton of coordination in there, right? And their ability to call on a limb to do what it wants is pretty effective. And so, back to the Olympia grid, this thing will be on in the real world. Tick, 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 tick. And when I flash the number or the symbol or the direction, they're in and out. And then their ability to be effective on the field it's awesome. they were able to hear what their coach wants them to do as they're in the middle of the game. Really cool. Because we train more than just the movement, we train cognitively.